Is Connecticut a tax deed state? We're going to cover that in this video. The court jester from Connecticut, that's an old one. See, date you that, Bing Cosby, and that where he had the eclipse thing going on. But anyways, we're going to make some money. By the time we get done with this video, you'll know exactly how to make money in that little tiny state called Connecticut. Not a big one, but they pack a big pop on it. So let's just talk about that. Well, by the time I get done, you'll know how to make money on this. And by the time I get done, I'm going to give you a free gift. I got a little bonus for you. So stick around to the very end, like it, comment on it, send it to a friend. If you have 2 friends that live in Connecticut, you can go from there. Now I got people from Connecticut are going to go, Connecticut's a nice place. It's a great place. We'll show you that. So how do I explain Connecticut? Connecticut is a deed state that looks, tastes, and smells like a lien. Best way I can describe it. So let's back up. Okay, what is a tax lien certificate versus what is a tax deed certificate? Very good question, and I'm glad you asked. Okay, so a tax lien certificate and a tax deed, and you've heard me say this in other videos, are really the same side of 2 different coins. Kind of like vaccine virus, okay? If I'm getting a flu vaccine, they're kind of putting the virus in you type of a deal. So a tax lien certificate is the very beginning of the process, and a tax deed is the very end of the process. So think of it this way. All tax liens and deeds end up in the same way. They have a lifespan of about 5 years. In the very beginning, a property has to be delinquent. Property owner has to be delinquent 1 year on the property taxes before anybody can have a sale anywhere in the United States. I don't care if it's Connecticut or not, okay? At that sale, they can offer up a particular year's taxes for sale individually. They can't say, here's a bulk of $40 million in property tax liens, buy them all. No, every year, $2,000 for this one, $3,000 for that one. So you own that lien, that year's lien on the property, okay? That's gonna bear an interest rate, 16, 18, 25%, whatever that is. You don't own the property, okay? All you have is you've given the money to the county who has the lien on the property, so to speak. You do have a certificate on it. It's kind of a weird deal. You've just taken the place of the county, so you have the power of the county. Understand, nobody has more control over the title on a property ultimately than the county. Think about this. Say, yeah, you can refinance it, you can do whatever you want, but nobody's getting a clear title until the county's paid, okay? So when I buy that lien in that first year, they can say, okay, the person doesn't have to pay right away. They can have 3 years. Oh, okay. So they've been late 1, and then they can go 1, 2, 3 years, total of 4 years. At the end of 4 years or 3-year redemption period, you can go ahead and foreclose on the property. And if you foreclose on the property, because you have the power of being somewhat the county, you wipe out and extinguish all of the liens and encumbrances. But I don't know why people think this isn't. You're like, hopefully no. You have to notify everybody. You're not sneaking going, I hope the mortgage company doesn't find out about this. You have to know that you have to make sure they find out about it and say, hey, dude, we're foreclosing on the property. You got a mortgage on. You better do something about it, which means come down and pay the taxes plus the interest rate. And if they did that, you get the money. But make no mistake about it, if they don't, you get the property and their position is no longer void. That is a tax lien. But I told you that if they were late 1 year, let me see, 1 year, and then we did 3, right? 3-year redemption period. Now on the 4th year, you get a foreclosed. So some places go, we're gonna wait 4 years and not do anything. Okay, they still owe us the money plus the penalty. But at the end of 4 years or 5 years, like in California or whatever, we're gonna have a tax deed sale like they do in Connecticut. But they say we're gonna give them a 6-month redemption period. So in Connecticut, I would probably guess to say that nothing happens for 3.5 to 4 years. And at the end of that, they say you buy it, and during that 6 months, if they come in and redeem, guess what? You get 18% on your money, okay, and plus your investment back, which isn't bad. So really what the county's saying is, we're not gonna redeem on the property, we're just gonna go ahead and let you buy the property, and if you wanna, wait, back up. they're not going to redeem it. They're not going to foreclose on the property. If you want the property, you have to foreclose within 6 months. So they've taken the burden of actually foreclosing off of the county. I want you to think about that. It's kind of smart because the county doesn't have to hire somebody that's a foreclosure expert, take on the liability, the pension, and all the things that go around having an employee to do that. They go, okay, at the end of 4 years, if they haven't paid their property taxes, we're going to offer these up for a tax deed sale, but we're going to have 6-month redemption period. At the end of 6 months, then they can go ahead and finish up the foreclosure on that. And if they do redeem during that 6 months, they got to pay the investor who gave us the money so we could run our schools, roads, fire department, police department, et cetera, the money to do that, an interest rate of 18% on that. That's kind of how it works. Now remember, you don't want to go out there and just start buying tax lien certificates or tax deeds without doing your research. Now, you just got to do some research. I'm getting a little punchy here, okay? The bottom line is this. Let's say in Connecticut, there's a county, and remember, they're selling the property, okay? They're selling the property for the back taxes. So this thing is not going to have thousands of liens like they do in Florida and what have you. They're going to be, maybe 50 or 60, or deeds, excuse me. And they're saying, hey, these properties are coming up. Now you got to do the research. So a couple of things you're going to need to find out. When is the sale? Okay. What time, what time is it during the year? Once you find out when the sale is, and then you can backtrack that 30 days prior. That's when the list of those tax deeds should be coming to public. That could be in the form of Connecticut. Some of the counties there can be a little pain in the butt. I've done some stuff there. And what you're going to have to say, well, we have the list, but it's out in the hallway. That's the public space, so we've fulfilled our obligation. Now, some people would go, oh, come on, they're just being, I don't care, because it's not nothing personal. They're doing that to everybody. So if they're making it difficult for me, they're making it difficult for everybody else. So I'm like, that's a good idea. I just send somebody down there to get a copy of the list, and I'm good to go. Once you have the copy, now you got to say, is this property worth buying? I mean, there could be $30,000 worth of taxes on it, and the property's, a swamp. I don't know if they have swamps in Connecticut. Side of a mountain, whatever the case might be. Could be a maple syrup. Do you have maple syrup there in Connecticut? I'm sure they do. New Hampshire, that area. All New England areas have a little bit of maple syrup. The bottom line is you want to make sure the value of that deed that you're buying is what you want. Because remember, after 6 months, if they haven't redeemed on that, you own the property, so you better want it, okay? So you want to find out values in that area. Does it need some repairs? What other legal paperwork is due? When I do go to the sale, how do they want their funds? ACH, cash, check, small children, whatever it is that they might have. You need to know all these things. If I'm buying the deed, can I put it in my name? Can I put it in my LLC? If I put it in my LLC, do I need a POA? Just as long as you're on the deal with the KP on the VP. Hey, what about retirement? Okay, you could always put your retirement money in this, and there's a whole gamut. Watch some of my videos on that. Imagine buying properties free and clear with your retirement money and all that money going back into your retirement. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. There's all sorts of different things. The bottom line is you better know what you're doing. I wouldn't invest a dime of my own money unless I knew all of the pitfalls there. You have to know what's expected of you before the sale, what's expected to you after the sale. Once you get the deed, how do you clear title? All of those things. And guess what? You've made it to the end, and I told you I have a gift. I have a free gift for you, which is a brand new course I just put together that's going to walk you in detail through all this. I know we only had a couple of minutes here, but in this course, I go through painstaking details of everything I've learned over the last 30 years that I can get to you. This is my gift to you. Just go to higginsmethod.com, click the link down below, and I say, God bless, good luck, and we'll see you out there.